Hi everyone, I'm just here. I want to talk to you about a case study. A little boy, Jasper, that I have been working on for the last few weeks. He's 17 months old. So his mum decided to work with me as she's currently pregnant, and she wanted a positive and effective way to guide Jasper to help her strengthen their relationship before the baby comes. She also wanted to be able to continue to support him with communication strategies that she could use immediately with any situation that arose. Mum needed a consistent approach that was specifically tailored to Jasper's development, and this actually really worked well for her. So this is what we actually did. So the main issues that we focused on were hitting and headbutting Jasper was using when he became frustrated, tantrums that Jasper was beginning to have when he wasn't feeling understood, emotions that Jasper was having about trying new foods, throwing foods, resisting, getting his nappies and clothes changed. Although all of these behaviours are age appropriate, we were focusing on improving mum's guidance of these behaviours with an overall reduction of incidences. We also developed a strategy she could use with Jasper when the new baby arrives. So to guide Jasper's behaviour, we used a combination of limit setting and time in. So limit setting was our main technique that we would use for Jasper. One time Jasper was climbing on the coffee table and Mum said to him, "I can't let you climb on the coffee table, so I'm going to get you down now." This is a perfect example of respectful limit setting. Just a little bit of communication with Jasper made it easier for him to understand what Mum was doing and why. If Jasper refused to respond to a limit that Mum had set, that is when she would use time in. So Jasper would then hold her hand or sit on her lap with her for 1 minute before he could return to his activity. And this strategy is not about the child having time to think about what they've done. He's far too young to understand the impact of his behaviour, but it is actually about disconnecting them from what they were doing and then redirecting them after that short break with you. Jasper has only just started to have tantrums, and this is a typical age-appropriate response to big emotions that he was feeling in his world around him. Mum learnt that the only thing she needed to do when Jasper was having a tantrum was to ensure that he couldn't hurt himself with anything around him. He needed to be able to express his emotions in their entirety, and also she needed to be there for him, to cuddle and calm him after he had finished feeling those big emotions. She also felt so reassured knowing that she didn't need to try and stop his big emotions, and she learnt that if she did try to stop his big emotions, he'd only hold on to them and release them at a later date. So feeding times were stressful for Mum before we started this plan. She found it really difficult to get Jasper to eat consistently. I explained to her that Jasper noticed this stress that she was feeling, and it was really important to change her attitude around mealtime so we could resolve the power struggle that was occurring. He was getting quite emotional when Mum was offering him new foods. Our plan was to continue to offer him new foods, but only ever one new food on his plate at any one time. I explained to Mum that a neutral attitude to eating was important. Any negative or even positive emotions from her created pressure for Jasper, and this only fueled the power struggle. Jasper is growing well, so we had no issues with allowing him to have complete control over what he ate and how much he ate. If he were to throw food, our strategy was to say, "Throwing your food tells me that you're finished, so I'm packing your food away now." And most importantly, to follow through with that. Jasper was then not allowed more food until the next snack or mealtime, and Mum was happy with how quickly things have changed for Jasper at mealtimes. In 3 days, she saw a complete reverse of his behaviour, and she was amazed. Mum's favourite part of the plan was giving Jasper more choice and control over his life. She told me that this is what gave her the biggest changes in the behaviours that she was seeing in the past. At times when Jasper needed his nappy change, she gave him the choice. Do you want to change your nappy now or after you've built your tower? Jasper then continued to build, so Mum read the signal that she could wait. She watched him build, and then when he was done, he came to her. She was amazed. The same thing happened when he needed to get dressed for the day. She offered 2 outfits. Do you want to wear this one or that one? She asked. He showed her which one, and he was far more cooperative. Because Mum is working hard at establishing a consistent strategy for guiding Jasper's behaviour now, it will be so much easier when her new baby is born. But Jasper will still be feeling a massive change here. One of the biggest things that children feel at the birth of a sibling is grief. They've lost your relationship as it was, and it now needs to change because you're now sharing that time with the baby. Ways we help to plan to help Jasper through this are by avoiding intervening with Jasper when he's playing with the baby unless it's obviously unsafe, offering him lots of opportunities to feel autonomous and giving him chances to do things for himself, putting aside at least 20 minutes every day so that mum can have uninterrupted one-on-one time with Jasper, for mum to foster the baby's independent play and spend more time with Jasper, ensuring boundaries are kept in place to keep the situation calm. Mum is super happy with how quickly change has made and was amazed how seemingly minor changes in her strategy would make such a huge impact in such a short time. You don't have to have big problems to want to have a more effective strategy for your little one's behaviour, and I'd love to work with you one-on-one so that you can have this success too.